Hey guys, so what I'm just gonna do here is create a basic video on DC Universe Online. Sony Entertainment actually got rid of the NDA as of December 6th, so there will be a lot of information coming out regarding this game over the next few weeks, probably quite a bit on my channel as well. But basically this is just going to be a character creation, quick walkthrough, you know how it works, what you can do in it, and then I'll probably have some videos of the early quests, the combat system, just to, you know, show you guys what the game is about, if you're thinking about buying it or not buying it, to tip it in whatever favor you prefer. So as you can see here, you essentially start with two choice, pretty standardized in most games. You can be a male or a female, neither of which is going to affect your combat skills. You're just going to be aesthetics here. So inside of each gender you can pick one of three body types. So you've got large, medium, and small. None of this affects anything else in the game other than how you look. You can be a tank in small build, you can be a healer in the large build. It's essentially just to show what your character is going to look like. So just to be in the middle, I'm going to pick middle for this, or medium.
Select exabyte download type. Create a custom configuration or imprint using data from an Earth hero or villain.
Okay, so one thing would be if you are watching this video, I recommend you put it in like a high definition 720p. You'll be able to see all of the writing that's on the screen, hopefully. And if you can't, leave some comments below. I'll try and make the quality a little better. But basically, you get two big choices here. One of them is you can be inspired by a particular hero or villain, in which case you're going to get a preset character based on that character, or you can do custom, which is, it gets quite in depth on building your own superhero. So I'm going to show both sides here. Inspired by,
imprint using available data from existing heroes and villains.
You're going to see a list of heroes and villains, and if you can see on the right, you're going to know your powers, your role in a group if you have one, and your movement type, and also what your combat type is going to be, because you do have like fighting, magic, and weapons are in there as well, things like gadgets. So there you go, Batman. You're not exactly going to look like the actual character. You're not going to have the exact look of Batman, Superman, Catwoman. You're going to get something that looks like them because they are in the game. So you'll get something that's fairly similar but not exactly identical. So you go, if you just want to take a look at the side here, you'll be able to see the character names as well if you don't happen to know them. You got Catwoman there, which is a little weird one if you're a male character, I'm not gonna lie. Some of these models are actually quite well made, others are a little lacking personally, like Wonder Woman. I don't really see, you know, that much of a costume design there, but other ones look pretty cool. Bane is quite nice, got the tattoos. Cirque is pretty cool. Beast Boy is more, he's grown up. If you're used to like Teen Titans, if that's the stuff you watch, he's grown up a little bit from that. And the one thing that would be worth noting is none of these are your mentors, they're totally separate. These are just what your character is going to look like and their powers. And the last one is Martian Manhunter.
Displaying exabyte download summary. Appearance options now available. Modify any category as desired. Accept download when ready.
As you can see, you can still monitor it all: movement, weapon, power, mentor, personality, morality, builds, and gender in your template. You can still edit them, it's just that you'll get the preset ones that they build. Okay, so now on to custom.
Select a hero or villain morality.
First choice, obviously, you're going to be a hero or villain. That affects, probably the biggest choice that you can do in the game is what side you're going to be. Obviously, if you're a villain, you're going to fight the heroes. If you're heroes, you're going to fight villains. And your mentors and a lot of the abilities, they're going to be tweaked a little bit depending on which one you pick. So I'm just going to do hero for this video.
Select a personality to determine social behavior.
So personality doesn't actually affect anything in the game. It's not going to make you a better fighter or have plus stats in any areas. It's really just for your personality. You know, if you leave and go away from the keyboard, or if you're doing any emotions, anything like that, it's going to adjust it slightly depending on what you pick. So you've got comical, flirty, powerful, primal, and serious. No need to really take too much depth in them. They are what they say. If you're picking serious, you're going to get a serious guy. If you're picking comical, he's going to be more a little laid back comedy type stuff.
Select a mentor as a guideline for data application.
Okay, so this is one of the big choices in how it actually affects the game. So your mentor is going to basically determine what weapons you can use, how you experience the world, and the categories of like what type of armors you're going to be using. It doesn't affect how you do the combat, your spells, your abilities. That's picked on a little bit later, but it does affect how you interact with the world primarily. So you're going to get Batman as the main one. Obviously he's going to be all gadgets, that type of stuff. Superman, just genetic gifts, you know, fists, laser eyes, that type of stuff. And Wonder Woman, not really sure why she's a mentor. Personally, I would have picked somebody else, but you can pick Wonder Woman. Too similar to Superman for my liking, but being weaker. I guess they had to have a female character, but they could have picked a lot of other ones that isn't Wonder Woman. And I'm sorry if you like Wonder Woman, I just personally don't think that she's a great mentor in the game environment. I'm gonna pick Superman.
Select power group from available exobyte data to determine combat role.
Okay, so this is going to be the first choice that really affects the abilities and your combat in the game. So this is things like your magic or your abilities, as to if you're going to be a tank, a healer, you know, and so on and so forth, if you're going to be doing crowd control. If you read the blurbs on the right, you can get the basic idea of each of the abilities. But here you go, so that's fire, gadgets, ice, which actually has some pretty cool animations, mental, nature, which is primarily like a healing one, as you can see there, sorcery, nature, both healing. I'll go back up them quickly just so you can see it again. Mental is control. Now control is, if you play WoW or Lord of the Rings, anything like that, that's your crowd control. It's going to be like banish or fear to get the mob off your tanks. A little bit of everything. They can do damage, but primarily they're going to be used to hold back enemies so you're not taking on hordes of them at once. Everything else above here, ice, you know, it's going to be a defense. That's going to be your tank, so you can encase yourself in ice, which is going to increase your health, defense, that type of stuff. Gadgets also control, so that's going to be the same thing as mental. You can probably trap people, think of a hunter trap, that type of stuff. You can use sticky bombs, things that are going to incapacitate them. Fire is just primarily damage and defense, so you can protect allies. I mean, actually, when you look through all of these, none of these are directed as an offensive, but in my personal preference, fire is the primary one. I'm actually going to go with ice for this video.
Select movement mode.
So this is an interesting choice to have in the game. You get to pick one of 3 movement types. So flight is obviously going to be flying. The one thing is they are actually unique. They're very unique, and it will probably change how you play the game actually. So, oh, that's my mouse spazzing. With flight, what you're going to be doing is obviously flying around. The speed actually changes as you go up levels. You can get abilities for it, but you're going to be able to fly up, down, you know, left, right, as you would if you're flying. The one thing with flight is you can use it while you're in combat, so you can pick up stuff, start flying, throw it, or you can fly away from enemies. It's pretty versatile in what you can do with it. Acrobatics it's interesting. It's actually not what you would think without playing the game. So it's not just you can do like double jumps, that type of stuff. Think Spider-Man, in the sense that you can crawl up walls. It's kind of like rock climbing, and you're very agile. You're pretty fast. You get a bit of everything. Obviously you're not going to be able to fly, you're not going to be going super fast, but you can still jump pretty high, you can bounce off walls, you can crawl up walls. It's pretty versatile in what it can do. And my personal favorite one, and this is purely because of the Flash, is super speed. And there's really no explanation of it. You should know what it is. You're going to have super speed, so you're going to be moving at whatever amount of times faster it is. While you're in super speed, you can jump really far. If you're running in super speed, press space to jump, you'll go pretty long distance. And you can also run up walls, run down walls, sideways, whatever you want to do. You're running so fast that essentially you get stuck to the wall. So I'm gonna pick, it's a hard choice, super speed.
Select weapon specialty from available data.
Now here is your weapon choice. So, you know, what you're going to be using to fight the enemies. So you've got bow. Let me just scroll back to that. Okay, I guess I'm not going to see the animation again. You got bow there. Brawling, which is going to be your punches. Dual pistol. Personally, I don't pick it, but you know, it's a pretty cool touch. You got dual wield. Hand blast. Martial arts with dagger fists, I guess. One-handed. Personal preference for the DC universe is I don't like things like the one-handed, the dual wield. I just don't think the weapons fit well in the superhero scenario. Personal preference is things like hand blast, martial arts, you know, that type of stuff, the things that you actually equate to